we talk about those decisions, like one of them, for example, is
that the students can get on and watch on YouTube there and watch it, so they're taking notes, and we'll go back and watch all these amazing men and women work these colts and kind of dissect it down on the different philosophies with people or animals or anything. And so that would be my take on it and advice with people, is just to work on those areas. So many times we get, even as a husband or anything, as a father, we get so focused on the task completions and we ignore the temperament sometimes, and those foundational things that we just need to help build that foundation.
Oh, mate, thanks for the insight, great advice. Always great to see you and great to have you back here at Road to the Horse.
One more time, welcome back that champion, Mr. Wade Black. I'm out of time. It's been 22 minutes, a little over 22 minutes already. And look at this. Don't clap for Wade. Welcome back everybody watching on Ride Pass on Pluto TV. Your one-stop shop for all things Western sports, as well as all of our viewers on the Road to the Horse YouTube. Lots of fun stuff happening here at the Alltech Arena, Lexington, Kentucky, at the Kentucky Horse Park. Round number 2, the World Championship colt starting.
Should the need arise, just we'll try again. I think I'll try to get one more out of her, and then we'll give her a good break.
Awesome. Thank you, Ryan. It's not only a talent to...
Not fully committing. Sorry. Yes.
Pin Wranglers, and we're going to start with Ryan Rose as Pin Wrangler. Everybody loves him. That's Jake Beardbaum. Evan Graham. Nick Dowers as Pin Wrangler. Ryan McCray. And then, of course, Tiffany McClowery's Pin Wrangler, a wild card champion himself and one of the most well-known horsemen and cowboys in the world, Mr. Buster McClowery.
Treatment. So one of the things when we get a chance to talk to Elise next is that she's changed saddle pads today, and I'm just wondering, like, is it just, you know, is it a dress code thing? Is it, are we, you know, does it match better with this?
Yeah, horse training is kind of an emotional roller coaster. You have good days and bad days, and yesterday I thought I left her in a really good spot, and today she came out and was a little more sticky than she was yesterday. And so we got to work through that, and kind of the best things are on the other side of adversity. And so I'm a big believer in adversity is a privilege. It's what builds our grit and our integrity. And so I'm ready to get back in there and see if we can work through it.
Best of luck. Good job.
Thank you.
Tiffany McClowery becomes the third World Championship competitor to go on a ride about today in round number 2. As Dan alluded to earlier, you have 10 minutes to ride for the National Center for Healthy Veterans. All sorts of great stuff where you can help them help all of our heroes.
Elise, if you're available later, I'd love a few lessons.
As a horseman, at what point does the playing and a little bit of the bucking, at what point do you really have to address it, especially in this competition?
Oh man, that's a good question, mate. You know, I think obviously we're looking
It
at.
could be a perfect time to bring this man in if you want to introduce him.
Let's bring in a heck of a horseman, a man that can also wrestle and grizzly bear. Being here at Road to the Horse numerous times as a competitor, of course, my friend Glenn Stewart. Welcome, Glenn. Mate, we just got to, you know, chatting and talking and about the competition and stuff, and you brought some really great stuff about perspective to it, and I'd just love you know, share here with our audience on that subject.
Okay, when I was here last time, I did a little bit of a talk on perspective, and then I come to your house and we hung out there at the pool party. I think it was a pool party. and we talked about perspective and whatnot in that deal. And I was talking about it just upstairs, and I talk to my clients all about it all the time. And I believe that 50% of what you get done with a horse, or don't get done with a horse, is going to be directly tied to your perspective, the beliefs that you have of what you're doing or seeing. So, you know, as I'm sitting in the stands here and I'm listening and watching and whatnot, I'm hearing people say things behind me and to my right and to my left about what they believe that they're seeing and their perspective on stuff. And we're all watching the exact same thing. We all seen the exact thing. We're all sitting there watching the same thing. You could have 10 people sitting beside each other, but they might all have a different perspective of what they just seen. So I'm always talking to students and the clients, and I'm saying, true horsemanship, what I would consider true horsemanship, is the quest to find the truth. What is the actual truth in the situation? So you got 10 different perspectives about what just happened. Somewhere in there, somebody's closest to the truth. And so I was trying to think of an analogy. What is the analogy that would make sense what I'm talking about? So I got thinking, well, if you're crossing a river of horses, and you've got this river that's, you know, however long, and at one end there's these big boulders, at the other end there's sand, really nice sand. So the big boulder end is going to be no problem for, you know, being strong enough to hold your horse. The sand end is going to be soft, and your horse might start sinking into it, but the boulder end, your horse might twist an ankle, break a leg, fall over. However, you might cross the river where the boulders are. You might make that decision because your perspective is that's the safe place to go. So you cross the river, you make it to the other side, and you believe that because you make it to the other side, it must be correct. Somebody else might go down and cross where the sand is, and my experience of doing that is that it can be really soft and you can break a leg there too. Your horse can get bogged down or fall down. But let's say you do it and you did get to the other side in the sand, you did get to the side on the boulders, and nobody broke any legs, no tendons were torn. You made it, but that doesn't mean just because you made it, it was the place to go. So when I'm working with horses, I'm always trying to find, you know, in that river crossing, we take that scenario, where is the best place in that river to cross? There's some truth. There's some truth there that this spot would be optimum to cross, and you can cross and it's close, you sink in the ankle on your horse in the mud, which is fine. But maybe if you moved up a little bit further, it would be only sinking in like a half an inch on the horse. So if you go up a little higher, now you're starting to bruise the sole of the horses because the pebbles are a little bigger. In all cases, you made it across the river. In all cases, you made it across the river. But
Run your sound. Put a rope in that lady's hand. She's gonna be waspy. We are at the 30. So fans, you have already seen his face in this arena. You've seen his face in this arena so many times before. He's a world-renowned horseman, known globally. He is the one, the only, Ken McNabb. Make him welcome on the arena floor.
G'day, mate.
I'm doing really great, thank you.
Mate, looking around here today, obviously there's some changes in all the different pens. What's some of the things that you've seen and noticed mostly today about the difference from yesterday to today?
So one of the things that was huge to me is that the judges can't score what hasn't happened yet. When we left here last night, my son Trent called and we were talking about Nick. And I told him, I think you're going to see an amazing deal tomorrow. I think what you see tomorrow morning is going to be unreal. And we saw that. That horse came out and was absolutely right where he wanted it to be. The changes that you see, you can sit in the stands and think about doing this. And I hope you do. I hope every one of you sits up there and says, man, what would I do if I was there? That's how you should engage in this event, really. But until you're down in these pens with these guys, and until you're eating the dirt with this horse, you really don't know what you're going to do. And so each one of these guys is working so hard to make huge differences in these horses. And you see all of this obstacle work out here going on. Most of us have horses that are 10 years old that can't cross these obstacles, right? And these guys are getting it done in the second hour and a half of this horse's life. And they're crossing these incredible obstacles, and you're gonna see changes again tomorrow. I think this game is so based on what you achieve in this round determines the next round. There's so much of that, but a lot of times, just like with Nick's horse last night, what you achieve today isn't always as visible today as it will be tomorrow.
Awesome, mate. Yeah, I think that just getting that perspective, as we were talking earlier with Glenn Stewart, and as you said, seeing what happened from yesterday to today, and ultimately for tomorrow. Kevin Nag, thanks for having us here.
Make sure you go check out his booth. And he also loves to sign programs. So if you have a program, he's between the pages of 45 and 47. And he's got a Sharpie handy. Just under 13 minutes remaining in round number 2. If you do catch Elisa, I suggest to not try to down it.
There's stuffy rides happening over here.
Oh, Nick's got a partner.
Yeah, there's a sloth rides. You can catch Nick at the booth. I think he's selling for about $2.50. Sloth rides, anybody?
That is the official Nick Dowers stuffy. Be available on nickdowers.com.
Tomorrow we'll see a painted on moustache. You know, we're talking about perspective. It looked like from the perspective here that Elisa was going to rope one of the judges.
If you really want to get their attention, that's one way to do it. Tiffany, I know you're in the battle right now, but if at any point you feel like you can kind of walk us through where you feel like your filly is at and kind of your method, we'd love to hear from you.
Yeah, she's just kind of had to go back and check out some things again. There was a few things that she was a little better with yesterday that she wasn't quite as good with today, but that's just her not being confident about that. And so it's my job to go back and say, hey, it's okay. This isn't gonna get you. This isn't gonna hurt you. If you'll just hang with me here, I can help you out of this and show you that this is all okay. And so that's what I've just been doing. Everything's a little scary today, but she's trying hard, and she gets a little bothered, but she doesn't stay too bothered. She finally moved out when I went outside. She's just been a little, that transition from the trot to the lope has just really bothered her. And so the last time I got her to go, it was pretty smooth, and so